Hi there, and welcome to Carla is Crafty number 85. For those of you who are new, my name's Carla. I'm a mom, a wife, and a midwife, and I'm a born again Christian, and I love people enough to tell them that. If you're a subscriber or one of my regular people, welcome back. It's good to see you. Um, I'm a crafter who crochets, knits, sews. I have an embroidery machine and I have a Cricut machine, so I do all sorts of that stuff too. I'm trying to use my mic because I know that the sound has not been extremely great. The weird thing about these funky little mics that you're supposed to clip on your shirt, I don't think they work very well unless you hold them up here because everybody I watch on videos always has their mic right by their mouth. So I'm either going to be way too loud or the sound will be great. So we'll go from there. Let's start with finished objects. I made a Dash the Sitting Dino from Jen's Crafter Creations. I used Burnett Mossy Hills that I had gotten at Ollie's, and I didn't have quite enough, so I also used some of the Burnett Mystical Fresh Green, which I realized there's a little, you can kind of tell the difference, but I still think it turned out pretty good. So, anyway, this is you make the parts and then you sew them together, but it still is a fun little make. And then I made a rooster and a mallard duck all from Jade. It's a pattern that she sells that has a chicken, a chick, a duck, a mallard, a pigeon, and a rooster. So the first one I made was the mallard, and these are meant to be weighted. This is so, I love these. I just love these. Jade, top notch, best pattern. It's very easy to read. It's pretty much no sew. I mean, you do some surface crochet on some of it right there, but you make everything and then you crochet it in. So it's really nice. I did use 25 millimeter safety eyes. And then the yarn is Premier Basic Chenille Brights in several different colors. So it calls for, the polyfill pellets or whatever brand of like the pellets that you put in things. And I didn't have any, but I did have some pattern weights that I had made with glass beads. I know this is not meant for a child because it's a weapon because it has glass beads in it. But I mean, you'd have to destroy it pretty hardcore to break them. They're the kind that you put like in the bottom of like floral arrangements. I got them at Dollar Tree a long time ago, and I had made pattern weights with them until I discovered that using large metal washers for pattern weights is much better, and it makes your pattern lay much flatter than the beads inside of a fabric bag. Okay, so I just threw the fabric bag in the bottom of this. You put just a little bit of polyfill in it. You don't even have to put any in if you don't want. But that's the mallard. And then I don't know where I'm going to put these things when I'm done with them. They need to go in my market bag. And then I made the rooster, which I thought this rooster was so adorable. And he has he's got the glass beads in him too. So he's weighted. I mean, they're nice. I think they make a cute paperweight. I don't know. Okay. Guess who's whining at the door? Hang on. Okay, well, I couldn't get her to come in the room, so she's probably going to start whining again once I get going with this. Anyway, and then a friend of mine wanted one of these mallards for her little boy. He's not a baby, so I didn't need to do like the embroidered eyes, but she wanted the rooster, so I just made it, stuffed it with polyfill. As you can see, it still works great, just stuffed with polyfill. Didn't have to have the weights in it and be more squishy. And he sits up just fine too, but super cute. I just think those are adorable. And that's all from Jade. And again, all that is basic chenille brights, except for on the roosters, the teal part is actually Burnett blanket, but they work well together. The next thing I finished, I wanted to do some tiny like $5 items for my $5 bin for market. And so I made Wanda the Whale. And I thought I made more than these, but I only have 3. And these are actually Premier just chenille. This is Premier Parfait, but the white and the other two blues are Premier just chenille from the Dollar Tree. I thought this little color was so cute, that little light teal or whatever. Anyway. And then that is from Beck. Beck Makes Crochet. And then I did the small Stingray from Nicola Crochet. And it's the same yarns. It's either, oh, I take that back. This gray is Honey Bunny. So yeah, here's the Stingrays. I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. So I made blue. I made them in similar colors as the whale. I did make one in this really pretty blue. Oh, he's kind of flipped up. His little head doesn't look right. You gotta straighten him out. Anyway, I just thought they were really cute. And they're so small. I don't know. Should I put them in a $3 bin instead of $5? I don't know. I was just thinking they would make nice little $5 quick makes. And there's a blue one in that. Those are purchase patterns off Etsy. And of course, I'll link those below my description. And I don't remember where I got these. This was the first Stingray I made. And he's huge. And I don't know that he looks like a stingray. I didn't like this pattern. It was a free pattern, so really can't complain. And then I had done this whale that was also a free pattern, and it's not bad. I mean, it's cute, and I like the size of it even, but instead of changing colors, it has you make this white thing and then sew it on, and it just, to me, looks funky. So I would either have to figure out how to change colors and crochet that, or I may just stick with my mini whales, the Wanda the Whales. And then I did from Kind Maker. It's No Sew Ocean Toys. And so this is Nemo. I didn't get his tail on very straight, but that's Nemo. And he's low sew. You just have to, actually, I think you just attach the yarn and crochet. I can't remember. I made this a couple weeks ago. So anyway, it's kind of cute, but more work than $5. So I don't know what I'll do with that one. And then of course I made some, I did the plush mermaid mod from Oak Marlow. I did not take a picture of it. It was for a friend. She wanted it for her granddaughter. And so it's from Oak Marlow, the plush mermaid mod of their bunny. And it was made out of Bernat blanket. And I don't know why I didn't take a picture of it, but I'll put the pattern in below. And then I did some chickens. Why didn't I write down the chickens? I don't know. I guess because I make them so much. Anyway, you guys have seen this little chicken pattern. I made a brown one, and I made a yellow one, and I made a light brown, and I did a gray one, and then I did 2 white ones. So I have 2, 4, 6 chickens for market tomorrow. And then I did some ditty decks from Handmade by Jody. I made 1, 2, 3, 6 more of these. I had made 2 before anyway. I made these for my centering group that I have this next week, so that they can have those for their babies. This one's like 2 colors of green. And these are all chenille Premier Basic Chenille Brights. And then I did this really cute one in green and pink. And this one is like teal and aqua, that green and pink. I love that one. But and then this is like two colors of, well, like pink and fuchsia. And then this one is like a light purple with gray wings. This one was my favorite. I just love these colors. It's pink with like a minty green. I know it's not called mint green, but anyway, I just thought that one was totally so cute. I like the pink and green together. Should do a pink and brown one because pink and brown go really well together too. I'll have to remember that next time I'm making those. I don't need 6 for my group. I only need 4. However, the other 2 will go to market tomorrow. And then I did make some Ammi sticks, which we will talk more about later, but I wanted to show them to you. I just ordered this pack and it had all these different size of DPNs that are really long. And so there's one that says coffee, teach, repeat, and then that says Merry Christmas, and that one is just a candy cane. These are for a friend because she and I both love candy canes, and she loves coffee, and she's taught me a lot of things since I've known her. And then I've got this one that has like a little bunny gnome and a little cow. And then I have these that have like a little Halloween gnome. Oh, it has 2. They match. Those Halloween gnomes. And then there's like a little truck with hearts. So making these, basically, I had ordered some acrylic things to make some stuff for Nurses Week for the nurses to make rag reels or magnets out of them. And so the lady, when she sent me my items that I ordered, she sent me a bunch of these. And I was like, oh, those are great for needle protectors. And then I went, and that's also what they use to make Ammi sticks. And so amigurumi sticks. So I made those. We'll talk about those later. But I ordered the beads off Etsy. I mean, Amazon and Etsy. They're interchangeable, aren't they? And I ordered the DPNs off of Amazon. I didn't realize that I could actually find like all one size DPN, but at the time I ordered them, I wasn't sure what size DPN I needed anyway. So I'm going to figure that out because if I decide to make more in the future and maybe put them on my website when I get it going. I also made some dish mat bags with zippers. I told you guys I'd gotten watermelons, and it's got a zipper across the top. So I've got 2 of these in watermelon, and I have 2 butterflies. And so they're made from $2.25 dish mats from Dollar Tree. And then I buy this from Amazon in bulk. It's poly cord or poly web. And then the zipper is from Amazon also. It's Zipper by the Yard, and it comes with the little zipper pulls. So I have those for market tomorrow. I think I'm going to do $15 a piece on them. That's probably about twice what it costs to make them. And they don't take that long for me to throw together once I get everything ready, because I cut the zipper to the right size and cut the webbing and stuff like that. But I did make them box bottom, so they'll stand up. And I just thought they were really cute, and I think that people will buy them. Acquisitions. Oh, Joys in Progress. I do have a pair of vanilla socks that I'm working on. The yarn is like blues and white and stuff, and it didn't have a label on it when I found it to wind it up, so I have no idea what yarn it is or where it's from. It's quite possible that it was hand dyed by myself or one of my friends, or it could have just been something somebody sent me. Because usually, if I buy yarn from someone, it still has the label on it. Um, so, acquisitions, I did get some safety eyes. These are 25 millimeter safety eyes, and it comes in a pack of 180 pieces, which that's so there's 9 colors, and you have to take the 180 and divide it by 3, though, because, or actually by 6, if you're going to talk how many pairs of eyes, because they're including all the little glitter things that go behind the eye and the eye itself and the eye backers. So there's that. And then I did also get some 30 millimeter safety eyes from Seven Sun. These are 30 millimeter 3D glitter eyes. I know there were less in this package than the other package. I don't remember how many. It doesn't really say how many are in here. But there's quite a few, and they're the same thing. They've got the glitter cardboard backing or whatever for the eye, and they work really well. So I like them. Now, I was having a really hard time getting these sinker eyes on, like a really hard time. I was literally taking the backing piece where the hole is and like heating it with a like a charcoal grill lighter, a stick lighter. And I was actually heating that so I could get it go down over it, and it was still a nightmare. And so I thought there's got to be. I have one of the plastic safety eye tools, but I was going to break it because it was just not sturdy enough because it's plastic. I think it's probably 3D printed. I don't know, but it's plastic, and it wasn't strong enough. I mean, it works great for the regular safety eyes, my little ones and stuff, but it's not working for those sinker eyes. So I found on Etsy a couple of different ones, but I only ordered the one. This one is from CrojoMojo. This thing is genius. I'm just saying, you put, there's the hole to put the back on, and then this is soft here so that it doesn't damage your eye. And you just put it in there and you do that, and this thing's heavy. I mean, it's heavy duty molded plastic. This little piece right here is metal, but the rest of it's like heavy duty molded plastic. But I mean, it is strong, and you don't feel it give it all. I mean, it does a great job of getting those eyes on. So I would totally recommend this. I think it was like $16, and it ships from somewhere in Tennessee. And I can't say enough good about this. She has patterns and stuff too, but I saw this one and I was like, I think I've seen something similar, and I apologize if any of my other yarny friends have touted this on their channel and I didn't realize what you were talking about, because this thing is great. And then I also got a handy zipper jig, which I didn't get it till after I'd already made those bags, till after I'd already put the zipper pulls on those zippers yesterday. So this came in the mail, I think yesterday evening. But it's a zipper jig, and it's from the Gypsy Quilter. I ordered it off Amazon just because I knew it would come quickly. But it's for size 3 and size 5 zippers. But I haven't tried it yet, and so I'm not quite sure exactly how it works. But there's a little picture right there, and I'm sure that there are, yes, on the back there are some lovely little instructions. So we'll get that figured out, because yes, I'm going to make more bags with zippers. Maybe not always dish dryer mat bags, because I do want to use some more of the canvas Christmas fabric that I bought last year and made myself a bag out of. I want to make some more bags out of it. And then for my birthday, I think I told you that my husband asked what I wanted and then told me to order it. So I got this from Max Carpet Bag Works because I needed a crochet hook case to put my furls hooks in. And so I got my frills hooks in there. So this thing is so lovely and soft, and just this purple color. Oh, you guys know. Well, originally my plan was to get this one because this is for knitting needles or whatever, but this is perfect for Ami sticks. My Ami sticks are in it. So I'm excited. So yeah, this my husband bought me this one and I bought myself the other one. I used the Cozy Buckeye has a 10% off coupon that you can use at Mac Carpet Bag Works, and that's what I used, and so I got 10% off. So I was happy with that. And then also my sweet sisters sent me birthday cards yesterday. Well, in my birthday cards, they had taken their little photo printer that they have, that they are always printing photos. It's so funny. And they made me these cute bookmarks. Look, with my puppies. Look, my puppies are on it. You can barely see Sophie's little face there, but and then they made me this one, and I had put that on Facebook about anyone can be a mother, but it takes someone special to be a dachshund mom, and it cut part of it off. But there's me and my Sophie, and then there's Sophie and Neville, and then they also took some of my pictures from Ireland. There we are, David and Mary and I. And then there's the 60 for my 60th birthday last year. And then Mary and I and our matching tattoos. And then Mary and I. And then this was like the first night we were in Ireland at dinner. And then there's a really pretty picture of the Cliffs of Moher. And then that was me holding that little lamb. And then there's my husband and I. And I thought that was so sweet because, you know, who doesn't love a bookmark, but a photo bookmark, memories, right? My sisters are so sweet. I've gotten a couple of other birthday cards from people, and I didn't set them aside so that I could show them off. But, you know, my friend Barbara sent me one already, and then my sister sent me cards and stuff. And so that's all good. And then for Mother's Day, my daughter Megan, who's an artist and she's really talented, she made this dachshund. See, it's a little tray to put things in, and it says Sophie on it. See, because it's Sophie, right? And so it's a little ceramic dachshund with flowers on it because she knew I'd love that too, and it's just so precious. I don't know what I'm going to put in it yet. I want to set it somewhere where I will use it and see it all the time. But I don't want it to get, I don't want it to be in the kitchen where it will get like grease and dust and stuff on it. Probably it will go either out with my embroidery machine or it will sit near my sewing machine. I don't know. I guess I could leave it next to my chair in the living room for when I'm crocheting and knitting and sewing, hand sewing things, and then I could put pins and stuff in it, I guess. I don't know. We will see. I know. It's a lot, right? 23 minutes. Crazy. So then tomorrow I'm supposed to have the market here in Ulaga. They have Pioneer Days, and they do it every year in May. Last year they did it a little earlier because we were actually in Ireland when they had it. They did it like May the 19th or something. And so I wasn't here and didn't get to participate. Well, this year, of course we're here. Yes, we were in Ireland this time last year, getting ready to celebrate Mary's birthday and my birthday. And I'm so sad because it was such a great trip and I want to go back. Anyway, so the market tomorrow, it's Memorial Day weekend. Okay, it's Oklahoma. What happens on Memorial Day weekend? It rains, right? Just saying. It's Oklahoma. I don't know that it ever doesn't rain Memorial Day in Oklahoma. There's supposedly like a 90% chance of rain tomorrow. And as of right now, they still haven't notified us any different. As of right now, they're saying that we're still going ahead with the market. Just make sure you have your canopy. We'll see, because we're expecting flooding during the night. So I don't know what will happen with that. So as of right now, the plan is that we're going to market. I believe the market is from 10 to 4. They have live music starting at noon, and they'll have that. They'll have a street dance from 7 to 11. They said vendors, you can pack up and go at 4 p.m. or you can stay later if you want because they're going to be there. I'm most likely going to pack up and come home at 4. Okay. 10 to 4 is a long day at market, setting everything up, tearing everything down, and especially if the weather's bad. I mean, I don't know. I mean, when you sell items that you've sewn or crocheted, things that are made with fabric and yarn and things like that, selling those things in the rain is not a good thing because, anything, the wind blows and the wind will blow because, again, it's Oklahoma. When they sing that part in Oklahoma, the state song about the wind sweeping across the plain, they ain't joking. So, and it's one thing for your stuff to fall in the grass or fall on a tarp or something like that, but for it to fall in a street that's wet or grass that's wet or whatever, that's another thing. And so, I cringe at the thought of things I've worked hard to make ending up in the mud and the rain. And so I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. As of right now, we're planning to go, and we'll see. Looking at the forecast, it looks like there may actually be a time when it's not raining. It's supposed to rain, I think, until about 6 or 7 in the morning, and then I think we're supposed to get a break for, a few hours. So if that happens, it may be okay, but I'm seriously thinking I should take like a tarp or something waterproof to lay down on the bottom of my canopy so that possibly my things do not get nasty, dirty, soiled. So anyway, we'll just have to see what happens. So birthday giveaway, my good friend Ella, no catchy name, had this great idea of doing a birthday giveaway because her birthday is in May also. And I borrowed that idea from her and I am going to do a giveaway. So in order to enter the giveaway, there's going to be 2 different ones. One will be an Ami stick giveaway. So if you make amigurumi and you are interested in getting a set of Ami sticks, then I want you to comment amigurumi. Just comment, just somewhere in your comment, put amigurumi. And then the other giveaway will be yarn. So then I just need you to comment knitting or crochet. Well, just comment yarn. There you go. Just comment yarn. But you can say you want yarn for knitting or yarn for crochet. Because if you say yarn for knitting and you win, I'm probably going to send you sock yarn. Like the skinny stuff. But if you say crochet, more than likely I would send you more like a DK or a worsted weight. I haven't picked out which ones I'm given. And yes, they're coming out of my stash. But I have a lovely stash full of yarn, and believe me, anything you get will be brand new, still packaged up, and it will be pristine. So amigurumi or yarn, let me know. I'll draw names with the random comment picker, and I'll probably draw them like the last of next week. So everybody has at least a week to watch the video and get in on the giveaway, and then get everything mailed out like the first couple of weeks of June or something like that. I'm sorry to say it's going to be US only, just because with the craziness of shipping and tariffs and stuff, I don't know how much it would cost to ship overseas. So US only to ship these items to. And then we'll go from there. So the only other thing I have to tell you is earlier today, my husband and I had to run some errands. So we leave the house. I did not realize when we left the house that Sophie had followed me into this room. Now, this room is where all my yarn is, right? And I had a bunch of chenille yarns, blanket yarns, and stuff, and they were packaged up in big bags sitting here on the floor. And she got shut in this room. And when we came back, I could hear her crying. And I finally figured out which room she was crying from. And I opened the door, and she had shredded probably 20 yarn wrappers, yarn bands. I mean, they were just shredded all over the floor. Her nickname is Sophie the Destroyer, okay? That's what she does because she's 7 months old, and that's what 7 months old miniature dachshunds do. They chew on things and bite things and shred things. And I mean, she didn't really damage the yarn other than some of it was strung across the floor. And so now I'm going to have to wind it all up, to get it, back to where it's usable. Hopefully it's not tangled or anything. And she did not get into my project bag that had already made items in it. And she stayed out of my polyfill bag. Well, not quite. There were a couple of small pieces of polyfill on the floor, but usually if she gets a hold of that polyfill bag, it's all over. I mean, like the entire bag's empty and there's polyfill everywhere because she loves that stuff. It's really strange. Anyway, I'm going to finish this now because I've gone on for more than 30 minutes. I think I covered everything on my list, and if we do not do market tomorrow, my plan is to sit down with my laptop and set up my Go Imagine site. I told you that's a website that's a lot like Etsy, but they are dedicated to handmade items. And their proceeds go toward feeding children and homelessness for children and, taking care of kids. So I really like that mission that they have with that and really appreciate that. And so the plan would be that I would get my Go Imagine site set up. You can list 12 items for free. So I thought, well, I'll list 12 items and see if they sell. And then I'll do the thing where you pay so much a month to list more items. Because I think it's nice that they kind of give you a trial of 12 items. I have lots more than 12 items, but here's my fear. I have butterfly and watermelon bags, and I am not planning to do another market after tomorrow until September. And by then, those, the butterfly ones might sell year round, but I think the watermelons are kind of summer specific, which is why I got those to make for this market because it's Memorial Day weekend and, summer. So that's my plan anyway. If we don't end up having the market or I don't end up going because there's too much rain, then I will set up my Go Imagine. And if we go to market and I don't do it tomorrow, then hopefully the first couple of weeks of June, I'll have time to do that. Next week's crazy. I mean, I work like 2 24-hour shifts and we have appointments and things like that. So I'm not going to have much time next week to do that kind of thing. But because I want to sit down and have like a 4-hour block or something to do it. Plus, before I do it, I have to photograph everything too. And I forgot about that. Might be hard to photograph stuff outside in the rain. I'll have to set up a light studio somewhere with light. All right. You guys have a great weekend. Enjoy your Memorial Day. Remember why we celebrate it. And love one another. Be kind to one another. And remember that Jesus loves you, and so do I. Bye.